Hi, this is Lara, aka Star Party Queen from Astronomy on Tap ATX, and I'm going to give you a tour of the highlights of what's up in the sky for the second half of November 2020. Let's start out by looking at the sunrise and sunset times for this time of year now that we've changed from daylight saving time back to standard. Since we're heading towards the northern hemisphere winter solstice next month, the amount of daylight continues to decrease and the amount of nighttime is growing, leaving plenty of time for sky watching. Although the smallest amount of total daylight will be on December 21st, we will actually be seeing our earliest sunsets from late November into early December at 5:30 p.m. However, over in the morning skies, the sun continues to rise later and later until we reach the latest sunrise in early to mid-January 2021. Now let's take a look at the moon phases through the second part of November. The moon was new late on the night of Saturday the 14th, so we'll see a waxing crescent moon in the western skies after sunset for most of the following week. The moon will then reach first quarter on the night of Saturday the 21st, and then we'll have a waxing gibbous moon for the week following until it reaches full in the early hours of Monday the 30th. This full moon is known as the frost moon and the snow moon. With this full moon, there will also be a penumbral lunar eclipse, which will be entirely visible here in Texas. Since the moon will be passing through the penumbra, the outermost part of the Earth's shadow, it will be a much more subtle change and harder to see. For the U.S. Central Time Zone, the moon will be deepest into the shadow early in the morning at 3:44 a.m. on November 30th, and that will be the best time to see the effect of the eclipse on the moon's brightness. Next up, let's see where the planets are in our skies for the latter half of November. With a little bit of patience and clear skies, you have a chance to see all of the planets in the solar system during this time frame. Starting in the west shortly after sunset, Jupiter and Saturn are up in the south-southwest at nightfall. Jupiter is setting at 9:38 p.m. on the 15th and at 8:52 p.m. by the 30th. Saturn follows at 9:56 p.m. on the 15th and at 9:03 p.m. by the 30th. Jupiter and Saturn will be above the crescent moon on the evening of Wednesday the 18th and then to the right of the crescent moon on Thursday evening, as you see here. After taking a look at Jupiter and Saturn in the western skies after sunset, you can turn around and see Mars in the east-southeast at nightfall looking like a bright orange star. Mars is visible for much of the night and is setting at 4:03 a.m. on the 15th and at 3:12 a.m. by the end of the month. Mars just passed its closest approach to the Earth in October, and now our two planets are starting to move away from one another, so Mars will gradually get dimmer and smaller for the remainder of the year. Look for Mars above the waxing gibbous moon on the night of the 25th. If you have a small telescope and some finder charts, this is a good time of the year to try to find the outer ice giant planets of Uranus and Neptune. Uranus is in the east shortly after nightfall and is visible for most of the night. Uranus sets at 5:49 a.m. on the 16th and at 4:56 a.m. by the 30th. Neptune is high in the southeast at nightfall on the 16th and is smaller and fainter than Uranus, so it might be a bit more challenging to find, although it is near some good signpost stars in the constellation Aquarius. Neptune is setting at 1:59 a.m. on the 16th and at 1:04 a.m. by the 30th. Over in the morning skies, Venus is moving back towards the Sun and its next conjunction, so you will see it a little lower at the same time each morning. Venus is rising at 4:32 a.m. on the 16th, about 2.5 hours before sunrise. By the 30th, Venus is rising at 4:56 a.m., which is a little over 2 hours before sunrise. If you have a good view of the eastern horizon, you might be able to spot Mercury, which is rising at 5:33 a.m. on the 16th. Mercury is also moving towards its next conjunction with the Sun, so it will get harder to pick out from the dawn twilight as the month progresses. On the 30th, Mercury is rising at 6:18 a.m., about 50 minutes before sunrise. One other highlight of mid-November is the Leonid's meteor shower, which peaks in the early morning hours of Tuesday the 17th, and this year there won't be any moonlight to interfere with observing. The Leonids get their name because they appear to come from a point in the constellation Leo the Lion, and they are the result of the Earth passing through the orbital debris of the comet Tempel-Tuttle. This shower is known for producing meteor storms about every 33 years, but we're about 13 to 14 years away from the next one, so this year's activity should be a more modest 10 to 20 meteors an hour at its peak. If you want to contribute a record of what you were able to see of the Leonids or any other meteor shower, head to the website of the American Meteor Society at amsmeteors.org. That's it for this month's roundup. Clear skies, y'all.